right, so we're gonna get the records from Northside, Forsyth, H&P, discharge, MRIs, neuro consult, which was Dr. Mihalovich. Cardiology saw her in the hospital?
Yes, and and her heart looks amazing for her age. And we were at the heart doctor yesterday too, and he looked over everything from the hospital
Who's
as well.
her heart doctor?
Dr. Qureshi,
Okay.
Qureshi.
And who is her primary care?
Dr. Satish Ganjam, Ganjam. And she sees him later today.
Karashi's with a Q?
Yeah, Qureshi.
Is his wife a neurologist?
I don't know.
Because there is a Dr. Karashi who's a pediatric neurologist.
Okay.
Cardiologist. Okay. All right.
So yesterday, Dr. Qureshi gave her the Metropol, whatever it is.
Metropolo.
Hoping that working with the lisinopril, it would help those swings not be so wide.
So she's still on 20 of lisinopril though?
20 in the morning, 20 at night.
Okay. That's a pretty good dose of that. Okay.
And she was on amfetamine for a while, but she went off.
Amlodipine?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They took her off that.
So, it sounds like her blood pressure is a big part of the problem here, obviously.
Right.
And obviously that's a cardiology primary care. But the dizziness and all that stuff is because of blood. She doesn't, if blood pressure drops, no blood to the brain, it's going to make her dizzy, going to make her confused, etc., and black out. Sitting there right now,
Yeah.
do you feel dizzy right now just sitting there? Or only when you get up?
Not too bad sitting down, but when I get up, yeah.
Okay.
But she also feels dizzy. At the dinner table, she's like this, trying to keep her head up.
Yeah, but so what's her blood pressure at that point?
It's...
When she's sitting at the dinner table and feeling dizzy like that.
Last night it was 166/103.
I mean, I think the first thing you're gonna have to do is get her blood pressure under control before you can be able to sort out if there's any other issues causing it. I mean, she's had scans of the brain. Okay, I think the blood pressure is the big issue right now.
It is.
Look here at me. How many fingers, Rose?
Uh,
How many am I holding up?
Oh, fingers?
Yeah.
Oh, that's two then.
How about now?
One.
Okay. Now, was her eye always a little droopy? I don't remember.
Not
The
quite
left
that
one.
much. It's a little bit more than normal.
Okay.
Yeah.
Close your eyes, Rose. Open. Smile. Good. Squeeze. Pull to you. Whoops. Got to lock it. Push to me. Push. Okay. Lift your leg up in the air. Pick up. Pick up. It's really pretty strong. Okay. And let's go ahead and stand up, Rose. It's locked.
It's locked on my end.
I got it. Go ahead and stand up, sweetie. You okay?
Yeah.
All right. Take a couple steps. Let's see how you're walking. Yeah. Go ahead and turn around. So physical therapy is not a bad idea, but that's not going to fix this.
Right.
It's a good idea to do physical therapy just to keep her active, because if she sits on the couch all day long, she's just going to get weaker and weaker. Blood pressure is a funny thing as we get older. You look at blood pressure, you want the blood pressure to be low because that reduces the risk of heart attack, stroke, blah, 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 etc. But as we get older, we need more pressure to get the blood up to the brain, okay? So it's a matter of finding that happy medium. I went through this with my mom, okay? She would go to her doc, and the doc would give her blood pressure medicine. She'd come home, I'm so dizzy. I check her blood pressure, and it's 110 over 60. Your blood pressure's great, Mom, but you're sitting in a chair, you feel like crap all the time, okay? So I'd take her off the blood pressure medicine. Next time she'd go back, she'd feel good, but the blood pressure was 140 over 80, and so the guy would go, okay, here, take this blood pressure medicine. And that went on for like 2 years, you know. You got to find the happy medium, okay? You know, and at Mom's age, you got to take quality of life into consideration too. Your age, my age, yeah, we want to make sure we get the blood pressure down. But if on paper her blood pressure looks great and is 110 over 70, but she can't get up because she's dizzy all the time, well, what's the point?
Okay, good point.
Okay, that's just...
So let me...
And so, you know, if her bottom number is 110, 120, yes, she's going to have a stroke if it's uncontrolled, okay? So you got to get it under control, okay? Not my field, but I'm telling you, you know, the blood to the brain, and that's what you got to work towards.
So the neurologist at Northside said something that I was so blown away by, but he said that having a high blood pressure for her wasn't a big deal. Like,
well, that's basically the same thing that he's saying.
That's what I was, like,
he's saying it a little bit more bluntly, so to speak. I mean, you know, again, high blood pressure could be 140 over 88. That's high blood pressure, okay? If her blood pressure was 140 over 88, I'm not getting all upset about it, okay? I'm actually more upset if her blood pressure is 110 over 60 than I am at that. But on the other hand, if it's 180 over 120, that's a problem.
Is that a reminder to take your medicine?
Oh. I couldn't figure out who it was from. The tailgate people.
Oh, the tailgate people.
On Sunday at the Falcons game, they wanted to know if I'd be there tailgating.
Will you?
Absolutely.
Oh, my sister's going to be there. I'll have her.
We go all the time. We got a big.
Do you really?
Huge group of about 50 people.
I'm jealous, but you are wearing your Falcons colors, so.
Oh yeah, I didn't even realize that.
You are. So he was saying like that because you know people get to be alarmists and because it's drilled into us that it should be whatever.
It sounds like we said the same thing.
Okay.
And I didn't even know what he said.
Right.
You know.
But so if even if it got up to 100 for the bottom level, it's not.
That's creeping up there a little bit.
Right.
Okay. You know, and keep in mind, you know, when she goes to do something, if she's active or she's agitated about something, that's gonna make the blood pressure go up. You know, so if you do something and it pisses her off and she's yelling at you. Okay, that's not when you want to check her blood pressure. This is going to be up. Okay? Not that you would ever do anything to make her mad, right?
Never. Well, Dr. Harris wants to know if I get you really upset and mad at me.
Mad at you? No.
Okay. So,
Don't mind.
I don't think she has, you know, Parkinson's symptoms to warrant putting her on Parkinson's meds. No. Okay? There are medicine, you know, and this, you know, sometimes it becomes a bit of an issue because sometimes you have people with high blood pressure, but they're on the meds, their blood pressure drops so low. You know, there's what we call an autonomic neuropathy. The body, when we're young, okay, our body knows how to adjust to things. So if I jump up out of the chair when I'm 20 years old, and run across the room, my blood vessels constrict, my heart rate goes up, and I get enough blood up to the brain, okay? Guaranteed, if mom were to jump up and run a 50-yard dash, she's doing a face plant, okay? Because she's not getting enough blood up to the brain, okay? And so we actually sometimes, in some patients, have to give them medicines to constrict the blood vessels and raise their blood pressure.
Got it.
Okay, but they could be having high blood pressure when they're just sitting there in the chair. So that becomes a real challenge in terms of, we don't want them sitting in a chair with a blood pressure of 190 over 110, but when they jump up,
Right.
the blood pressure falls out of the bottom. Let me get the records, but I don't think there's anything that we should do different.
Okay.
I wouldn't add any meds. I wouldn't remove any meds. I'd leave her on the same dose of her, memory meds. What? Anything ever come of that Sexton?
Mm-mm.
Okay, so we're doing okay.
What is that?
Sexton Hall, you had told me.
Oh, Sexton Hall. Oh,
Not sex.
that's what I was thinking. I was like, he's not going there, is he? We
Yeah,
actually.
is mom getting any?
I don't know. Oh dear Lord, my father wishes. So, I did take him to Sexton Hall, and
Okay.
and that was the day before she had to go in the hospital. So it's on
okay.
hold. I think it's going to be great for my father, and they have one that would be a little bit different for my mom for her memory. But
Okay.
yes, we have looked into that. And you think, even though she's starting to get her days and nights mixed up in terms of sleeping, but so no problem. Like, I try to get her to walk downstairs, like in a big circle with her walker. Is that I'm with her?
That's fine.
Yeah.
I mean, she's so small. She ain't, if you're holding on to her, she's not going to take a major face plant.
Yeah.
You should be able to hold her up.
Oh, I can.
And at worst, ease her down to the floor.
Yep.
So as long as you're holding on to her, you might get one of those belts, like
have
the
one.
physical therapy, and just always have her have that on when she's walking with you.
So we're gonna exercise even more at home.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
She's doing it now.
Mom, the little things I squeeze them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which is good, Mom.
Did you change my medication?
No, he doesn't believe that you need to change your medication.
Really?
Yes. So
There's enough changes going on.
Yeah.
You need a refill on the patch?
I'm not sure. To be honest.
Yeah. You know what? I'm just going to give you a 90-day prescription on that.
Okay, great.
So you don't have to.
So everyone we've been to see, they're all saying your dizziness is from your blood pressure.
Yeah.
So that's just what we're gonna focus on,
Yeah.
to get that a little bit more under control.
Oh, that's good. That'd be good.
Okay. It could also be your blonde hair.
It can also be
Your blonde hair.
my blonde hair.
Yeah.
A dizzy blonde, right?
Yes, yeah. It's not exactly blonde, but it's great, isn't it? Green?
No,
No.
it's looking good, Mom.
It's looking fine.
I don't have to do much with my hair or anything.
Yeah, your hair looks good, Mom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Looks better than mine.
He's bald, so it does look better than his.
Yes.